Well, welcome into the Buffalo Bills Breakdown. I'm your host, Harrison Graham, filling in today here from Chat Sports. The Bills have signed a wide receiver. We'll tell you who and how I think he could fit into this offense. Plus, we have a big update on running back James Cook. We heard from the general manager, Brandon Beane, on his situation. So we'll dive into both of these stories here on today's show. This is why you subscribe, because when news come in, when the Bills make a signing, anything big time surrounding this team, or even small news, we're going to cover it. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and always lock us in here on the Bills Breakdown. Want to give credit to Jordan Schultz, who had the scoop of Elijah Moore signing a one-year contract worth up to $5 million. Schultz adds the note that he's still only 25 years old and has over 2,200 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns during his first 4 seasons with the Cleveland Browns. I think it's a pretty fair deal. Like, if you're Buffalo, I think you're pretty happy. Worth up to $5 million, which probably means the base is like $3 million for a guy who's averaged, 550 yards per season over 4 years. You see the yearly totals here. I think that's pretty solid for Elijah Moore. And I've always felt that there's something untapped with this guy. I don't know what it is, but I really liked him coming out of Ole Miss. I think a lot of it has to do with the Deshaun Watson thing in Cleveland has just not worked out, so the quarterback play there has not been great. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like this is going to be, some highway robbery where all of a sudden he's a number one receiver in the NFL, but I think he could be a piece in this offense, and I really like the fit with Josh Allen because Elijah Moore is a good route runner. He's good after the catch. He's good with the ball in his hands, and he kind of fits the mold of a lot of the receivers on this roster who are a little undersized but have good speed, but I do think he's an upgrade over a guy like Curtis Samuel or someone like that. So we'll take a look at the depth chart in a second and how this thing plays out because it's a pretty crowded room at this point in time. But Elijah Moore did tweet out. He said, back in that red and blue, just like Ole Miss in college. Time to go be great. Grateful for the opportunity. Can't wait to meet Bills Mafia. So Elijah Moore showing love to Bills fans on social media after putting ink to paper today. This is our best guess right now at the Bills wide receiver depth chart. My only issue with this group is right now, I don't think this team has a true one. I know Bills fans would say Khalil Shakir, and yeah, based on who they have, he's their number one. But to me, he's really more of a 2. You have a bunch of 2s and 3s. Like Josh Palmer got paid $12 million per year, so I think he's going to have a role on this team. They're obviously hoping Keon Coleman develops. Maybe he's the one guy that could become that true alpha number 1 guy. We'll see if he becomes that. I plug Elijah Moore as that number 4 guy, but I think really, after Shakir, everybody has opportunities to be up to that number 2 receiver. Can Curtis Samuel bounce back? Is Laviska Shenault going to factor in to this offense at all? They got a lot of bodies and a lot of competition at the wide receiver position entering OTAs and, eventually training camp and in the preseason. So curious to see how it plays out. Obviously, a lot of it will just come down to who does Josh Allen trust? Who does he build that chemistry and rapport with, because we know he has that with Shakir, and for the rest of these guys, it's kind of just let the best man win, and we'll see where it goes. We all obviously know that they're going to throw to the tight ends a lot as well with Dalton Kincaid and why am I blanking on the other tight end? Dawson Knox, thank you very much. And James Cook, assuming he's here out of the backfield, we know he's a big threat as a receiving back. Okay, if you had to predict who will be the Bills wide receiver 2 after Khalil Shakir, if you had to guess right now, I think the hope would be Keon Coleman because they invested a big pick in him and he's got big play upside, but wouldn't shock me if it was him, wouldn't shock me if it was Elijah Moore, wouldn't shock me if it was Josh Palmer. So give us your thoughts down in the comments below. Who will be wide receiver 2 on this football team? Okay, the latest on James Cook is where we go next here on the Bills Breakdown. Where do things stand between Buffalo and their star running back who had a career year in 2024. Cook did not attend voluntary workouts earlier in April, which I don't think is a big deal. I mean, he's eligible for an extension. It is voluntary. I think once you reach a certain status, if you go, cool. If you don't, I'm not going to throw a fit about it. I know boomers don't like it, but, it's not a make or break. Be in shape, and when OTAs and minicamp roll around, be ready to go for that. Brandon Beane had this to say about James Cook. He said, quote, "He will be here this year and hopefully beyond. We love James. We would love nothing more than to keep him here longer term. Now, the Bills did not draft a running back, so in terms of trying to create leverage between themselves and James Cook on contract negotiations, they didn't really do that. I mean, if you're James Cook, you got some leverage here. Are you concerned that Ty Johnson or Ray Davis is going to run with this job? I am not. So if I'm James Cook, I'm feeling pretty comfortable. Now, at the same time, does that mean he's going to get 15, 16 million per year? Is he going to get 4 for 60? I don't know. You might have to find some middle ground here. Obviously, Saquon got a pay raise. Christian McCaffrey last year got a pay raise up to about $19 million. So I'm sure he's looking at that saying I should be right up there just behind those guys. And okay, fair enough. But before the last season when he had his true breakout, especially in terms of finding the end zone, like good player, right? I like James Cook a lot. Is he a top 3 running back? Maybe, maybe not. He's a receiving threat. I'd probably put him top 5, top 7. I would not be shocked, though, at all if this turns into a franchise tag situation. You're here this year, we're going to tag you next year, and just let you walk. Like that could definitely be the case because it's just tough to justify paying a running back top of the market or close to top of the market when you have Josh Allen making $55 million per year. Like, that just makes it tough. Like, when you have one of those dudes at quarterback, like, you'd rather pay pass rushers, an offensive lineman, and a true number 1 receiver, which luckily for the Bills, they haven't had to. They got Shakir on a team-friendly deal, but down the road, they probably will. And certainly some of these defensive linemen coming down the pike. So we'll see what happens here. If James Cook is willing to, I don't know, would he take like 3 for 42, like 13, 14 per year, $30 million guaranteed? Like, I think that was the Jonathan Taylor deal, 3 for 42. Like, to me, he's closer to Jonathan Taylor than he is Saquon Barkley. And I know inflation, the cap going up. Okay, give him a couple more $1 million guaranteed than Jonathan Taylor and call it a day. That would be my offer. Obviously, James Cook could, pitch back. I'm a better receiving weapon than Jonathan Taylor, and that's true. He's probably not quite the runner Jonathan Taylor is out of the backfield. So here's to see where this goes. I definitely think the franchise tag is going to be an option that Buffalo uses, and I'm sure Cook and his camp know that, which is why maybe they do hold out of some of the offseason program this year, considering he's under contract and the tag couldn't even be applied until next year, just to kind of take some of that power back. But I just think it's tough at running back to win a power struggle like this. But maybe he could because he knows how critical he is to this offense's success, especially in a year where, you got to lay your chips on the table. If you're Sean McDermott, if you're Brandon Beane, you've been knocking on the door. You've got Josh Allen in his prime. Like, if you don't break through this year, when are you? And having James Cook is going to help you do just that. Okay, predict James Cook's future. Type sign if you think he's going to sign a long-term deal. Tag if you think he gets franchise tagged, or if you think he simply walks in free agency next year. Type gone. I think tag is the most likely next year, unfortunately, which probably will not make him and his reps happy, but that is a concern for another day. Okay, my name's Harrison Graham. Appreciate everybody who has subscribed to the channel here. We will be back hopefully tomorrow with some more Bills news and notes. Until then, go Bills.